Are we on?
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I just thought I'd sit here quietly.
I was distracted looking at the dog, usual. Typical.
Yeah.
I just didn't know where he was, so I was checking.
He's like putty today. He's just dripping off the couch.
Yeah, he's been very cuddly and quiet. Hello, Goose Chase fans.
Fans? In quotes?
People who subject themselves to the torture that is this podcast.
Yeah, right. Don't know why, but we're talking
What is the
to
name
you.
that you call them?
What? Do I have a name for that?
Or you called us something.
Oh, we're the Goosum Twosome.
The Goosum Twosome.
Yeah, we're the Goosum Twosome.
What would the fan name be? I was calling them Goslings for a while, but I know you don't really like that. Which isn't really motivation for me to stop. But
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
All right, I'm going to stick with Goslings until someone comes up with something better. Hello, Goslings.
All right. We're doing this on a Sunday morning, which is super weird, but super nice.
Yeah, I'm drinking coffee, which means I'm going to be crazy.
I'm also drinking coffee.
Yeah, and it's going to bring you to a level of normality.
I think it's really nice because we normally do this, as people probably know, like on a Wednesday night at like 7 or 8 o'clock. But it's like after work
we've
day.
had our whole life for that day and are
it's
exhausted.
the middle of the work week, which is just a shitty day.
Yeah.
And, it seems like Friday is forever off. And I don't know. This is a
It's nice
different
to start
energy.
a morning with something we enjoy instead of having to force ourselves to do it because we just don't feel like doing anything.
Right, because at this point in the day, I'm down for most things. It's really around like 2 or 3 o'clock that I'm like, I just want to get in my underwear and watch TV.
Yeah.
It's
that early for you?
Yeah, right. Sometimes I accidentally take my pants off at work and I go, oh my God, what am I doing?
Well, when you're working from home, that makes sense.
Yeah. When I'm working from home, I'm almost never wearing
You
pants.
never wear pants.
Not
you
never. Rarely wear pants.
rarely wear pants. The Dave Dragowski story.
Anyway.
A couple things at the top. So yesterday I got a message or saw a message from Kirsten,
Oh my God, I love this.
who drew a great little comic of us. It was a quote from an episode in which you were talking about Geraldo, that video of
Geraldo
Geraldo
Rivera.
naked.
Yeah, that selfie where basically his towel is just hanging off his dinger donger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's me with an incredulous look on myself saying, was there a reason for bringing up naked Geraldo? And you saying, did I need one?
What's funny is I don't remember saying that, but that's I know
you.
that I did.
I'm confident that is I don't remember half the shit we say on here.
Yeah, right.
It's just too much to actually recall.
Yeah.
When we started this podcast, I was like, this is great because this is an opportunity for me to learn a bunch of stuff and I'll have all this acquired knowledge. I don't remember any of this junk, guys.
Yeah.
I'll tell someone that we did an episode on something and they'll be like, oh yeah, what was it about? And I'm like, fuck if I know, listen to the episode.
It really is. Doing this has been a bit of a cautionary tale about the limits of human memory.
Yeah, but it is all recorded, so we can listen to ourselves, explain it to ourselves.
But that said, there's things that okay, so I guess it's appropriate for us to talk about all this stuff as we're approaching episode 100. Mm-hmm. But when I think back on, for example, the CRISPR episode, you explained a concept to me that I could not understand no matter how many places I read about it. There was articles in Time Magazine and online, and I tried to figure out what they were doing with CRISPR, and you were the first person to explain it to me in a way that made sense. And that stuck.
Yeah, I think that it's really helpful. The fact that you and I, obviously, we have a lot of things in common, but there are different things that interest us and different things that we're good at breaking down. There's been episodes and ideas that I've put on the list that I was like, I want to know more about that. I don't have the capacity to do it myself. I will get too frustrated and give up, or I won't know how to attack it and get frustrated. There's been so many episodes where you've come with you went on a literal, I guess not literal, but you went on a goose chase on the internet and found shit I would not have found. So I think that's a benefit to this podcast is even if it's just you and I telling each other things in a way that we wouldn't be able to get ourselves. But I hope that comes through to the audience too.
Yeah.
The whole point of this is like, you don't feel like doing a Google search? Yeah. Well, we did it.
It's also like kind of weird because it's like, hey, here's a topic you didn't even know you didn't want to Google search.
Right.
And now we're going to Google search it for you. Like that's a weird premise. Hey, you want to know what you probably don't care about yet?
Well, it's not even that you don't care about it. It's just like there's always things that come up and you're like, oh, hey, I should look that up. That sounds interesting, but you never do, or you forget about it or whatever.
Yeah, just
so
it's a ephemera of the internet.
Right. So the call still stands. Whenever you have that thought, instead of forgetting about it, just message it to us and we'll add it to our list.
Yeah. And we will waste our time for you.
Yeah. I mean, I still find it fun.
The truth is, I don't think there's anything we've done that has been totally useless. Although my Cottingley Fairies episode probably won't change.
No, but it doesn't have to be life-changing. Right. It was still fucking interesting. And the fact that they were able to manipulate photos that long ago in a semi-believable way is really rad.
Yeah, that's true.
But back to the original point at hand, which was the Kirsten's drawing of us. So I wanted to pull it up so I can actually...
so you could describe it to people.
Yeah. Well, it's me wrapped in a blanket, very accurate, with the headphones on. And so I say, what reason did you have for bringing up naked Geraldo? And Dave is saying, did I need one?
Yeah.
And it says Goose Chase established 1795.
Yeah, right.
And it's a really great design. If I get her permission, I will post it on our page.
So basically, I think that looks a hell of a lot like me with basically without the glasses and the beard.
Yeah.
And I think that the face that you're making is a face you have made at me a zillion times. Seriously, it's like bewildered and not quite disgusted, but on the way.
Well, it's all you could tell from the quote. What reason did you have for bringing up naked?
It's perfect.
Naked Geraldo.
I don't think you could say that with any other expression on your face.
No.
Especially, we're talking about Geraldo here.
Of course. I mean, you just think of Geraldo, and that's the expression on your face.
The thing is, I don't know if I gave him credit enough in the episode, but he didn't look that bad.
Oh, no. We talked at length about his body.
We can do it again. Do you want to do it again?
Not really.
I mean, it's like, not that it isn't wrinkly, but then it's pretty good for like a guy in his 70s.
Geraldo's looking okay for a guy in his 70s. I don't want to talk about it any
I'm trying to drag
further.
you down this road.
No.
And you are not.
I have like 5 more things I want to talk about in the intro up top here. We're
all right.
Sailing right past Geraldo. The fuck is happening? Coffee, that's what's happening.
Yeah, that is what's happening.
Let's discuss the mystery dick. Just because it's really funny. So
where did it go? Is it in here?
You put it in that notebook.
I put the mystery dick away.
So you put the mystery dick away. So we podcast in the basement. We have a little table set up and microphones attached to it and all this shit. And usually there's lots of flotsam and jetsam from the different podcasts that we do, notebooks and pencils and Chris Brady's pipe shit. A random thing of guitar picks, some Carmex. It's just a hanger. It's just a dumping ground. What is happening on this table?
This table is...
I'm in the middle of this story, and I just realized it's a fucking mess down here.
I found half a peanut.
You want a peanut?
I want the other half of the peanut here, too. Look at that.
There's a third half of that peanut.
Now, Christy.
That was the point. All right.
Oh, there it is. Wow, this is the rare 3-halved peanut.
Mm-hmm. It's like a lucky 4-leaf clover. So the point of that is that we usually have notebooks scattered around, and the Three Dudes podcast notebooks are the funniest because you guys just talk about silly junk for 3 hours and write down. My favorite segment is the What I Learned, because it's always
the random notes from the episode.
Quick notes of like the weird shit you said during the episode that you recap at the end.
Yeah, and I don't even remember what they are most of the time.
Like when I come across those, like those always crack me up. But a little bit ago, someone was down here and saw this drawing. It's like of a man's lower half with his dick and balls out. And it's the weirdest drawing of a penis any of us have ever seen. It kind of looks like a flower. Or, I mean, definitely a mushroom upside down, but like, It's very strange, and we don't know who drew it.
How to describe? The balls are separate and squarish almost.
Yeah.
The head of the wiener is like a bell pepper.
We aren't people who would not take credit for drawing a penis.
The knees are even square somehow.
And that is not any of our drawing styles.
No, the thing is, I don't know where this came from. There's also some cryptic notes that I don't understand.
Yeah, we have no recollection of who did this or why they would have drawn it or when it was from even or where it came
But
from.
it's mystifying.
It's a mystery. We discuss it like once a week.
It's been about a week since we've been trying to figure out where this came from.
Yeah, last week you guys started discussing it. I brought it up again.
I think it was just in
If
this
anyone
notebook.
knows where that dick came from,
It could be anyone.
well, the world may never know. But I wanted to talk about it because it was weird and in front of us. Last night I went to the Little Steel Derby Girls spaghetti dinner. And it was a lot of fun. And I don't know if I've really explicitly mentioned it on the podcast, but I'm not doing roller derby anymore. And thus I am not doing their fundraising.
Yeah.
So it was refreshing to go and support them and get to enjoy it and not have to plan the whole thing.
It's a pretty great organization to support. A lot of nice people. And
I still love them.
the spaghetti dinners are always
They're all
fun,
my
too.
friends, and they put a lot into it. And I know because I put a lot into it when I was doing it.
Right, you know how much effort it takes to do that.
And everything looked great. They had a bunch of great baskets. You know, some people expressed concern that it didn't feel like there was as much or enough. But I was like, I looked at everything you guys put out there. There were baskets with really cool stuff. And there were baskets that had a lot of handmade stuff in it. Like Coach Tony made stuff. AV Steel does really great wood burning. She made a box with the Little Steel Derby Girls logo on it that she
cool.
wood burned onto it. There was like a soap or maybe it was a candle in the shape of a roller skate. And she made,
cool.
Those little calendars that are like the numbers are in individual blocks and you just flip the block to the next number to say the date. Well, at the top it said Bout Day and there were little blocks with the numbers on it and a block with the months on it.
Okay.
So you could say like August 29th is Bout Day. It was just really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that was a thing someone made. Someone made a tie-dye tapestry that they raffled. Brick House made a bunch of stuff with her Cricut and made like a mystery bag with that stuff in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Which, like, if you don't know Brick House, you might be like, I don't know if I want a mystery bag. But if you know Brick House, you're like, I want a fucking mystery bag because she's great at using her Cricut. And she makes really cool stuff.
I see what you're saying. Like, once you know that it's hers and you know who
Right.
she is, like, you know that there's something awesome in that mystery bag.
Right.
Gotcha.
I put in a lot of text for that and I did not get it. But
Rats.
there was another thing that had a bunch of Little Steel Derby Girls, like, shirts and swag, and someone made an embroidery of like a roller skate and it was like super 1960s color scheme. I wanted that so bad. And afterwards I was even like, who made that embroidery? I will pay them to make me one.
Nice.
And I couldn't figure out who, but my point being, there might not have been as many things, which I don't believe that. I think there were just as many as there have been in the past.
Yeah.
But the stuff they had in them was so cool, and so many people participated and made things and put a lot of heart into it. And it was so nice to see that. And I wasn't stressed out in the process of it. I got to actually enjoy it this year.
You weren't running it. You were a guest, and that's
Yeah.
nice.
And the food is good, and they don't buy frozen meatballs and throw them in the sauce. Like, Juhas made meatballs for this.
yeah.
And they were great. Everything was fantastic, and I'm so proud of them and happy that it went well. They had some people come who just like scroll Facebook and find random events to attend. They find a cause that they want to go to. They didn't know anyone on the team. They'd never been to a bout. But they went and dropped a bunch of money, and it went to a really great organization that I still love. So that was fun to see. And maybe the best part,
Certainly the best part.
they did their blackout basket,
Yeah.
and they announced the winner of that. That's a basket full of full-size bottles of liquor. They announced that one last. So I had put in a bunch of tickets for other stuff. I didn't get anything. I was like, oh, okay. I put in 4 tickets for the blackout basket.
Yeah.
And I fucking won it.
Which is like a $20 value or something like that is what you put in?
$5 a ticket, so $20.
So you paid $20 for like 15 bottles of liquor or whatever the hell it is.
Full size liquor. A bunch of whiskey, bottle of tequila, a couple bottles of vodka.
Yeah.
And even that special bottle of cold brew coffee and whiskey.
Yeah.
So lots of good stuff to try in there.
So you know what it really makes me want to do is finally build shelves for behind the bar.
Yeah.
Because with all that stuff, it just would be really, really nice to have it up on shelving where bottles of liquor belong behind a bar.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We have so many projects.
Yeah, right. We got a trillion projects. I don't know if we'll ever finish them all.
But I just want to give a shout out to the little Seal Derby girls because I love them and I miss them. And I do plan on going to their bouts and helping them out here and there. And it was a really great time last night.
Thanks.
And you and I had some mead, which was fun.
I never know what you're going to pick to be the most notable things that happened over the last
Usually
few
the
weeks.
most recent and the things I remember.
Right.
Because I should take notes throughout the week when something cool happens, but I don't.
Yeah.
But I had a good night last night. I worked all day, and usually that means I'm not going to have a great day.
Yeah, right.
But it went smoothly, and then I got to go to the spaghetti dinner, and I was in a good mood, and I got to come home and hang out with you and drink mead.
Yesterday was a great day for a number of reasons.
Your day.
Because like you had a pretty good day at work, then won a bunch of shit, then came home and we had a good time together. Plus, me, during the day, all I did was drink Natterday and smoke ribs.
Yeah.
And it fucking ruled.
All I'm asking for is every day to win a giant basket of liquor and come home and drink mead, and for you to have smoked ribs all day and feed them to me. Those were really good ribs.
Here's the thing. They're our friend Scott's recipe, and the recipe is like dead simple. The thing is, he's told me this before.
But it's hard to believe when you actually eat them because it doesn't taste like it's simple.
This is Scott's.
That's what Low and Slow does.
This is like award-winning ribs to me. Is there's no sauce, there's no need. You take a rack of baby back ribs, you cover it in salt and pepper heavily, you put it in indirect heat between 250 to 300 to 350 to whatever in your smoker with some apple wood. For maybe 4 to 6 hours until it does the break where you pick it up like a third of the way with the tongs and it just kind of snaps. And then you wrap it in foil, put some butter on top, and wait a half an hour. That's it. Done. Oh, you spray with apple cider vinegar. Yeah, like every time you open it to check, you spray with apple cider vinegar. That's so easy.
Yeah.
Just doing that for like 4 to 6 hours.
They were great.
I'm thinking about them now. I kind of wish I was
eating
them
more
right
left.
now.
I mean, you can, but everyone will hate that.
It's so damned easy.
They were really good.
And I'm glad you can't ruin it. He's right. You can't ruin it.
I'm glad it was a good day for you.
It was a great day.
And you also watched a bunch of Marvel movies while you were waiting.
I at least watched 1.5 Marvel movies or whatever. And I played some video games and
that sounds like a good day.
Yeah, it was a really, really good day. Who knew?
So a couple more things on my list. Quick check-in.
Okay.
So Dave and I this year and last year, one of our focuses was our mental health and trying to do something about it instead of just being at its whim,
being at the mercy of it.
Right. So we had both started medications last year. We both started Wellbutrin, and eventually I ended up going off Wellbutrin, which I didn't talk about on here because it wasn't doing anything for me. It wasn't hurting anything, but it wasn't helping anything either. And I didn't want to take a medication just to take a medication. It took me a while to get back into my doctor for reasons, but I eventually did, and the other day, and had a conversation with her, and she tried to figure out something else to put me on. So I've since started a new anxiety medication. And it's only been a few days, so it's a little early to tell.
It's called weed.
One can only dream. No, It's called
Christy is smoking weed.
it's called Buspar.
Oh, okay.
And
In addition to...
oh god,
Okay, I'm
stop
just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
But basically, so far, it's been okay. I have had a couple little side effects. Like, it makes me sleepy and a little bit, like, I can't even, it's not lightheaded and it's not dizzy. It's like a different feeling. But it's similar to those.
Gosh, it almost sounds like you're describing alertness.
No. It's, no.
You know, it's like lightheaded, but without being lightheaded, it's like you're awake and feeling good.
No, it happens like 20 to 30 minutes after I take the medication, and it lasts maybe 5 to 10, and then I'm fine.
Yeah.
But it's almost like you're really, really sleepy. It's like you're nodding off, but you're not nodding off. But it's happening in your brain, and it's just a weird feeling.
That is weird and creepy.
It's like almost drowsiness, but I'm not really tired, and I can push through it. Like, but if I was like, oh man, this feels weird, and I went and lay down, I would fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a strange feeling, but it passes and I'm fine. And then sometimes that upsets my tum a little bit, but that, all medications have side effects, and if it's worth it, you deal with it if it's not too extreme. So far it's been fine.
Right.
And I feel like it maybe has been helping with my anxiety a little bit. The feeling I've kind of had so far is like, and it doesn't sound like a good thing, but it feels good. It feels okay to me.
It feels good.
But it's like when things that would trigger my anxiety start, or when I would normally overthink something, my brain just kind of stops and is like, I don't really care. And it's not that I don't care about things. It's like just stopping that process of like caring too much about them. Mm-hmm. It's just like, I don't have the energy to focus on that thing, to dwell on that thing. Like, I want to do something else.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me want to shift gears, which is exactly what I need. So I don't just dwell on things that are inconsequential, which is part of what makes doing my job difficult sometimes, is I just get caught up on details and can't get past it. So hopefully that continues, and we'll see.
Yeah.
And then I just want to catch up on that because we make a point of discussing our icky brains.
Well, yeah. It's, I think just like, I don't know, the nature of like how we do this show is we talk about a lot of stuff that's maybe even too personal, but it's like...
I've discussed labia cysts.
Oh, my God. Why?
On like the second episode.
Oh my God. Yeah. So the point I'm making is stuff like this is bound to come out, and it's kind of a big part of our lives. And like, part of doing the show is invariably like sharing about our lives. So
well, and especially since there have been times that we don't do the show, because mentally we can't.
Yeah. No. Last Wednesday, I couldn't do it, and I'm still kind of rebounding, but there are times when it's just incredibly hard to sit in front of a microphone and seem like a normal person.
And the thing is, I firmly believe that you don't have to. Like, sometimes you don't feel okay, and you don't have to pretend to feel okay. But I just want to talk about it because that's what we do. Yeah. And then one more thing, oh my God, and then I'm done.
so much catch up. Yeah.
We are thinking about getting a pupper for our pupper. It's been a long time coming.
Yes, we're thinking of getting the dog pregnant.
No.
Yes, he's going to be a great mom.
He would be a great mom, but he loves puppies.
It's almost definitely time for him to have another dog around, because every time he does, he's a way happier dog.
He's in heaven.
He burns a ton of energy. He has a ton of fun. He's just better to be around when he's, stimulated,
Our friends Matt and Claire have brought their puppy over, and he loves playing with that puppy. We do not want a puppy, but we do want to get a dog that's playful and not afraid of playing with Bo the way that Bo plays. Yeah. And he's 6 now, so he does sleep a lot and chill out a lot of the time. But when he does have a burst of energy, it's like relentless. And we're not super energetic people. And so it's hard for us to keep up with him and do the things we need to like get that energy out. Even if we play with him until we're exhausted, which doesn't take that long, he's still amped up. And it has done nothing to like chip away at that energy that he has built up. But if he plays with another dog, he will like pass out for hours afterwards. So I think it definitely would be good for him to have a friend. And it's time for us. We've wanted another dog for a long time now. So we're starting that process. So there might be 2 podcast dogs in the future. Don't know exactly when.
Yeah, we might have to. Well, if that's the case, I don't know what's going to happen. If they're constantly chasing each other around and making noise all the time.
What I suspect will eventually happen, dogs get used to each other. They're used to being in a pack. There will be times when they play and they fight and they do all that. And there will be times when they chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
And calm down.
I just know I'm going to have to like eventually build the wall that separates us from the rest of the basement.
Yeah.
Because there will be more noises and more things.
Right.
More
But yeah,
distractions.
that's just something that we're seriously starting to look into. So maybe there'll be another podcast dog.
Yeah, we'll see. Also,
We shall
probably.
No, almost definitely.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
just a matter of when and what dog.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the thing is we've been looking at these. They're
so cute. Oh, they do. So cute.
And they're great. Every dog at the Mahoning County Dog Pound is adorable. Now they're probably all going to have a serious need to be like trained.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that they are necessary. They are probably not housebroken.
Some of them are.
Some of them may be. Yeah.
Yeah. Most dogs they get are strays, but you know nothing about them. So you don't know if they could have had a home
Yeah.
and were tossed out for some reason, or they ran away and the owner couldn't find them or didn't want to find them.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that, but it happens.
But yeah, the point is you don't really know what you're getting.
Yeah. I think recently there was someone who turned in a dog as a stray to the pound, and it turned out that was the dog's owner. And they brought it in as a stray. They said, I found this dog as a stray. Like, I guess
How do you know that?
The pound said on their Facebook. They ended up finding out it was actually the owner.
So they posted that on Facebook?
Well, they had posted that a stray was turned in.
Oh, and then
And
they were
then
like,
later they realized it was the owner, and they just put update, not a stray. It was an owner turn in. Like, once they got that information. So, because if it's a stray, they give it time to wait for the owner to come forward. So it's important to know if that was the owner turning it in, then you don't have to wait.
You could find him a home.
You could find a home sooner. So
What an asshole.
yeah, I can't imagine doing that, but
Yeah.
there's all kinds of situations that happen, and there's all kinds of people that have pets and maybe shouldn't have pets or whatever. So
The thing is, we will do. I mean, look at Bo. Bo is a pretty well-behaved dog by all measures, even though he's kind of annoying.
yeah,
And can be loud and a pain in the ass. He is well trained. He's a behaved dog.
sometimes he just picks and chooses what he wants to do when he wants to do it, but that's a personality thing.
That dog hasn't gone to the bathroom in the house in like 3 years.
The
since he
important
was a
stuff.
puppy. Yeah, like
The important stuff he gets right all the time.
and he's nice to people, and he puts up with a lot of human bullshit. People grabbing him and pulling his ears around and jiggling his face. Like
This is a
everyone wants to
dog
do.
that loves people and loves dogs, and I've never had one before him that was both.
Yeah,
I've had dogs that love people, and I've had dogs that, well, mostly I've had dogs that love people.
yeah.
Because we didn't do a great job when I was growing up of like
Socializing
dogs, but this is a dog that loves both, and you did a good job of making sure that he was around other dogs occasionally, and
He's been with other dogs since he was like
I used to
1.5.
take him to the dog park, and like
Younger actually.
so he does good with that,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to get him a friend and have another pupper
I
around
just
here.
want to jiggle some dog's face.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be cute. So yeah, that's that. But I
right.
think it's time now
it
that we
is.
did all that catch up.
It is. It is time.
It is time. For I don't know if you've heard of it, but I was thinking we could do a game.
I don't follow.
Well, there's this game called Trues and Fnews. Do you think you'd want to play it?
That really depends. Is it fun?
It is fun.
Is it a game that's taking the nation by storm?
That's what I've heard.
Is it a news game? A famous game?
Something like it. You're stealing my thunder, though, dude.
Well, why don't we play Truths and News? You mean to tell me why you wouldn't happen to mean
It's time for Truths and News.
Time to play Truths and News. Everyone's playing a famous game, the game that's taken the internet by storm.
It's time for Truths and News.
A Merv Griffin production.
Steal him a thunder, dude.
Or you could be stealing my thunder, dude. The world may never know.
Thunder, dude.
Thunder, dude.
Hey, wait a minute. Is that Thunder Dude over there? Thunder Dude, get out of here.
That guy's stealing thunder, dude. All right. Back to the game.
Tell me about the game.
Truths and News is a game, a fun little game. It's taken the nation by storm. It's an internet game in which I will give you 3 news headlines. 2 of them are false. 1 of them is true. You got to tell me which is the truths and which is the news. That's the best I've ever done.
Bravissimo! Wow!
You're
Beautiful.
welcome.
Bravissimo!
Are you ready for this?
Yeah, sure. Whatever. I don't
First
care.
one. Liverpool man devotes life to building yellow submarine installation as tribute to the Beatles.
Okay. Nice.
Second one. Michael Jackson's glove is a singing alien in this LA musical tackling sex abuse allegations.
Oh my God. Please don't let that be true.
Third. Portland therapy dog Mr. Smoothie carries a lunch pail and bus pass and rides bus to and from work by himself.
Okay. Somehow one of these is true.
Yes.
Wow. Let's hear them
Recap?
again. Yeah.
Liverpool man devotes life to building yellow submarine installation as tribute to the Beatles. Number 2. Michael Jackson's glove is a singing alien in this LA musical tackling sex abuse allegations. Number 3.
Oh my God.
Portland therapy dog Mr. Smoothie carries a lunch pail and bus pass and rides bus to and from work by himself.
I freaking love Mr. Smoothie. What a great name. What a great name for a dog. Mr. Smoothie. You know what that makes me think is when we do get a dog, we really got to try very hard on a name.
We have to name it something really weird.
It has to be a great name.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. We'll think about it.
Like Cheeky Nuggy.
Chicky Nuggy. This is my dogs, Bo and Chicky Nuggy.
Cheeky Nuggy. We also thought about naming it after one of our friends, so it's really confusing.
It's really, just name it after someone that's always here.
No, we should name it Ben because there's already 2 Bens that come over at least like once every couple weeks.
That's right. There's already been confusion.
That'd be so horrible.
But then also you have further confusion because there's Bo and Ben,
Yeah.
which are just they're
2
just
B
close
names.
enough.
They'd both come for everything.
I'd like you to meet my dogs, Bo and the Hamburglar. Or Grimace.
Someone at work the other day was trying to get the attention of my coworker named Amber, but she was also trying to say something else at the same time. And she looked at her and went, hamburger. I think she was trying to say, hey, Amber.
She called her
And she
Hamburger.
called her hamburger. It was so beautiful.
How did you not tell me this sooner?
I totally forgot until you said hamburger.
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 Hand outstretched. Hamburger.
I turned around and looked at her. She's like, oh my God, what is happening?
You know, it's funny because just this morning, me and Chris were talking about when Chris Hayes called Bernie Sanders Bernie Sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? Like on air. Bernie Sandwiches.
People calling people food is really funny. Hamburger is like the best the best
Hamburger.
hamburger. Like, did you just call
Imagine
her hamburger?
putting my hand out to someone and going, hamburger.
It's made slightly better by the fact that the person she called hamburger is someone who would like never eat a hamburger.
Well, that's kind of funny.
She like eats very healthy.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's funny.
Oh, it's great.
Hamburger. Chicky nuggy. Okay.
Back to the issue at hand.
So I have some guesses.
Would you care to share them with the class?
Yeah. So I actually do think that a dog getting his lunch pail, getting on the bus and going to work, as weird as that is, seems just feasible enough to me. I'm tempted to say, well, shit. Oh my God. So the Yellow Submarine installation, I can see it, but I actually somehow don't think it's the true one. And that talking Michael Jackson glove is just cringy enough to actually be happening in theaters somewhere, specifically in Los Angeles. Just cringy enough. An alien? He's a singing alien?
That's what it said.
Like, what's the implication? That, like, no, whatever. I'm not even going to think about it. Oh, shit. This is a hard one. This is actually maybe one of the hardest ones you've served up. Let's... Damn, this must be horrible to listen to. I am going to say the true story is The Singing Glove. The Singing Glove, the musical about sex abuse. I think that's actually, that seems real to me.
You're right.
Yeah, baby!
So I got to give some credit to Dan because it was originally brought to my attention by him.
Okay.
When he brought it to my attention, the headline that I was seeing that he saw and shared with me is that Johnny Depp is producing a musical about the life of Michael Jackson,
oh my God,
as told by his sequin glove. Now,
okay, that's...
it turns out that
that's not true, right?
Either Johnny Depp wasn't doing it or he has since decided to separate from the project. But that is no longer true. And that headline does not give the full picture.
Yeah, that just sounds like a movie celebrating Michael Jackson.
Right.
Or
but
a musical or whatever.
There's another version of this headline that I didn't use because it was even weirder. Okay. And I was like, he's going to know it's real because it's so weird.
Okay.
And you did anyway, and I knew that there was a chance that you would.
I kind of thought it was the dog. I'm glad I didn't go with the dog.
It wasn't. But are you proud of me for coming up with the name Mr. Smoothie?
Mr. Smoothie?
Yeah.
I love it.
The first thing that popped in my head. I have no idea where it came from. I was like, what's this therapy dog name? Mr. Smoothie.
Mr. Smoothie.
Mr. Smoothie. He's got to be a real smoothie to get on the bus.
It reminds me of that bad lip reading of Mitt Romney from years ago where they said he trained a parakeet named Mr. Future. When I heard that name, when I thought that
Mr. Future is a great
parakeet
name.
named Mr. Future, like broke my brain when I first heard it, and I just like rolled around in bed cackling like a moron for like 20 minutes, going Mr. Future.
There is actually a real story of a dog. This is loosely based on this stuff happens all the time, but I think it's in San Francisco. But it's this dog who takes himself to the dog park every day.
That rules.
Because like his owner would take him to the dog park, but his owner was taking too long one day, so he got on the bus by himself, and then brought himself like his
the
owner
bus
met
driver
him there.
just let him do that?
Well, now he has his own bus pass.
Wait a minute, Christy. Is this trues and news, or is this half trues, half news?
No, this is a therapy dog in Portland named Mr. Smoothie, and that's the false one. But this is a dog taking himself to the dog park in San Fran.
That's
It's
pretty.
based on true stuff, but it specifically is not true.
It seems half trues.
The best lies are rooted in the truth, David. Everybody knows it.
All right.
Anyway, that's the last time I share a cute dog story with you.
Mr.
It's not.
Smoothie.
Mr. Smoothie. Back to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson musical will blame sex abuse allegations on virgin boy blood glove. That's this other.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes. So let me read this. The LA production For the Love of a Glove is a part puppet show in which the late singer's alleged history of child sex abuse is blamed on a glove-shaped alien forcing Jackson to feed on boys.
That is fucked up.
Michael Jackson, of all people, seems to be making a comeback. The late and controversial pop star is about to get his own Broadway show, MJ the Musical, set to open July 6th with Ephraim Sykes in the lead role, as well as a biopic. Producer Graham King has been working with Jackson's estate and scribe John Logan. And now comes an LA stage play about the king of pop, or rather his famous glove. Written by LA playwright and filmmaker Julian Nitzberg, For the Love of a Glove tells the story of what happens after a group of aliens shaped like bedazzled gloves crash land in Jackson's hometown of Gary, Indiana. Turns out the glove can give people magical musical talent if it drinks their blood and has part of their body inside of it. Nitzberg, 54, tells Rambling Reporter, but it can only feed on virgin boy blood. Naturally, one alien glove attaches itself to a young Michael Jackson, who eventually learns he can't feed all 5 alien gloves himself, so he starts bringing boys home. Nitzberg describes the musical as a layered look at the entire landscape of Jackson's life, including themes of racism, religious oppression, cultural appropriation, and a reported rivalry with Donny Osmond, who is accused of copying Jackson's ensembles and photo shoots. He's also quick to point out that the production, set to open January 25th, 2020, so last month, at the Carl Sagan Andrewen Theater inside the Center for Inquiry on West Temple Street, is not a jukebox musical. Rather, it contains 20 original songs and will feature Japanese bunraku-style puppets.
I do not like this idea.
Musical has everything. Actor and comedian Jerry Minor from Saturday Night Love and Mr. Show.
Wait.
Is it Saturday Night Love?
Jerry Minor. I know who Jerry Minor is.
Is he on Saturday Night Live?
He may have been. No, he might have been.
What's Saturday Night Love?
I don't think that's
anyway.
the thing. No, he was part of Mr. Show, and he was on Louis' show and all that.
But he takes on the title role of the glove with Eric B. Anthony starring as Jackson. Additional characters in the show will include other members of the Jackson 5, Osmond, Emmanuel Lewis, Corey Feldman, and Bubbles the Chimp.
I don't like this idea.
Nitzberg explains the seed of the project was planted 17 years ago when he was approached by a TV network. He declines to name to write a Jackson biopic. I know. I just wanted to say it to make you mad. Even then, he refused to do a sanitized version that didn't address the abuse allegations, so a deal was never made. Instead, he hatched a plan for a fictionalized take involving the rogue gloves. I think the point is to be obviously satirical.
I get it.
I hope that it doesn't come off as dismissive and putting the blame on someone other than Jackson.
I don't
which is the feeling I get is like, oh, well, it's this alien thing. Obviously no one's going to take that serious, but like it seems like a way to like dismiss it as ridiculous so they can address other concepts, but it all depends on how they actually go about it, you know?
For me, Finding Neverland is still very fresh.
Yeah.
Like, I spent a long time not being sure what exactly Michael Jackson did and being willing to, like, kind of put it off in my head and not come to a conclusion about it. And that documentary was very upsetting and really detailed. And it totally fucked up my, whatever lack of judgment I was able to, like, give to Michael Jackson. So, like, I don't know. Like, someday that will seem really silly to me. But right now, it's just kind of, like, messed up to me.
The fact that... I don't think it will ever seem silly.
I think it's kind of meant to be farcical.
Oh, you mean the musical? Yeah. The fact that it is being shown in the Center for Inquiry...
Sure, I understand.
Gives me a little bit of faith that it's done in a way that would...
It's in defense of free thought. It's in defense of, like, a bold, risque idea that has something to say. I get why the CFI would want to support something like this.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's not going to go traveling or anything.
Right, yeah. This is not going to be like coming soon to Boise, Idaho.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the truth.
Wow. I think the idea is really interesting, except I can't hear the words virgin boy blood without really specifically thinking about what Michael Jackson did to people. Mm-hmm. So
that's kind of the point.
that's some regrettable truths.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a lot. But
I really wish it was Mr. Smoothie.
There were 3 headlines just for that one topic. That any 3 of them would have been great, except I determined the Johnny Depp version wasn't really true anymore. So,
well, thank goodness for that.
Aren't you glad I chose Michael Jackson's glove as a singing alien in this LA musical tackling sex abuse allegations versus boy blood glove?
Don't laugh at boy blood.
As you laugh at boy blood.
Jesus Christ.
I think it's time, on that note.
Yeah, on that brilliant note, we should take
for
a
a
break.
little break.
Yes, maybe a little more coffee.
A little more coffee?
Not sure. Yeah, but let's take a break and we'll come back in a minute with the main segment for the episode. All right. Ooh.
That was a good one. Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum.
That's fun. All right.
And we're back.
We are back. We are back with more of this.
Yeah, why are you guys still here?
I don't know. It's the episode time.
This is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. She always looks so sad in photographs, but
Oh my God.
I absolutely love her when she smiles.
Oh, that's nice.
Only when she smiles, though. When she doesn't, she's a piece of shit.
All right.
All right, I don't know what that is, but
Yeah.
I mean, I know what that is, but I don't know why that is.
I don't know why that is. Okay, that makes sense. Let's move on. This episode, first of all, I should say this episode is sponsored by Hunters, a new original series from Amazon Prime,
What?
in which Al Pacino plays the leader of a ragtag bunch of Nazi hunters, now available on Amazon
Wait, what
Prime.
are you doing?
Our newest sponsor is Amazon
We don't have
Prime.
sponsors.
No, we don't, but I wish we did, because this episode is about Nazis.
Okay. So it's inspired by, loosely inspired by, not sponsored by.
No, it's sponsored by Amazon
No,
Prime.
they're giving us no money for this.
Thank you, Amazon, for sponsoring this episode.
Are you hoping if you say it enough that it'll be true?
Hey, I don't know. Why not?
No one's gonna buy.
Thank you, Amazon.
No one's gonna buy the cow if they get the milk for free. Is that how it?
Yeah, I think you're
Buy
right.
the milk if they get the cow for free. It's one of the, they get something for free and then they don't want the other one.
No one wants a cow, is how it goes.
I think that's how it goes. But they're not gonna pay us for the ad if we do the ad before they pay us.
Thank you, Amazon, for sponsoring this episode. No, anyway. So, Nazis.
Nazis.
If you were an SS officer at the end of World War II, you...
Episode 97, Nazis.
It's not just
Double
Nazis.
Underline.
There's one Nazi
No,
in
it's
particular.
about Nazis.
But we'll get to it. If you know, as many of them did at the end of World War II, as you know, as a lot of people know, Nazis fled and found refuge in places like South America often.
You mean Nazis refuse to take accountability for their horrible deeds?
Oh, yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. So they, a lot of places, they booked it to a lot of places famously that would, protect them and, not extradite them and all of that shit. But you would never think to go to Cleveland, Ohio. It doesn't seem like the Nazi-friendliest place.
No.
But anyway,
It turns out it is.
The thing is, and yet, despite this, beginning in 1975, a series of events kicked off that would ultimately lead to the allegation that a man named John Demjanjuk, a naturalized U.S. citizen of Ukrainian origin, was a Nazi concentration camp guard known as Ivan the Terrible.
Oh.
I don't know how I didn't know about this.
Yeah, I don't know how I didn't either.
This was kind of a big public deal. It started in 1975 is when the sort of allegations started to surface, and it went basically all the way clean through until, from 1986 essentially is when proceedings on this would begin, all the way up to the year of his death. Like I said, I don't know how I didn't know.
What was his name again?
His name was John Demjanjuk, which is Demjanjuk. He was, at the time that all of this kicked off, already an old man. He was a grandfather, and by most measures, by everyone that knew him, he seemed like an ordinary citizen. He worked at a GM plant and retired, and just a normal old dude. And he maintained his innocence throughout this process. But basically, this is, what would follow is attempts to bring him to international justice. And it was like a kind of a huge case. And I thought it would be worth talking about on this show because it happened, like an hour and a half north of us.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is the story of John Demjanjuk. Which this story, what the events that kick it off basically start in 1975.
Okay.
So at the time, there's a publication called the Ukrainian News, which is run by activist Michael Hanishak, I believe. Hanishak, maybe?
All right.
Anyway, it was he put together a list, from a few different sources and doing a little bit of investigation of 70 Ukrainians now living in the U.S. who the Soviets alleged to be war criminals of the Nazi Party. 70 Ukrainians in the U.S., and this is in 75. So Hanishak is a very active, an active activist. He's the leader of the International Workers' Order and the head organizer for the East Ohio, West Pennsylvania region. So he's involved in this area, right? He gives this list to a U.S. senator who gives it to the Immigration and Naturalization Service, and they pare the list of 70 down to 9 that they're really confident in, right? That they can move forward and investigate. They determine that this list is probably put together entirely by the KGB, but they move forward on it anyway. And Demjanjuk is one of the names on this list.
Okay.
The
thing is, if the information is valid, it kind of doesn't matter if the
KGB source doesn't
put it together if you're able to bring a person to justice.
But the thing is, of course, this is during a time when it doesn't hurt to be pretty skeptical of whatever comes out of the KGB,
right? Right. I mean, you have to investigate it and make sure it's valid,
right? Which
is why they weaned it down to several instead of however many.
They worked their way down to the ones they were the most confident in following up on.
Yeah.
And they did circulate Demjanjuk's image and name to survivors of Treblinka, where Ivan the Terrible was supposedly stationed. This guy of mythic cruelty during the Holocaust, right? No one recognized his name, but 11 people positively identified him as Ivan the Terrible by a photograph. So that was, in conjunction with a lot of other evidence, that was enough for them to move forward on this case. The witness identification was so strong that it was enough to move forward.
It's kind of hard. I mean, obviously, you said there's other evidence.
Yeah.
Witness identification is very difficult to go by because on the one hand, you can be that's a face you never forget. But on the other hand, that's a high trauma experience and your brain does crazy shit in those kinds of experiences.
Yeah.
So it could be really difficult to rely on that. But you said there's other evidence.
There is. There's the investigation has only just started, so that's, there's not a full picture yet, but they determined that this, basically is enough to start moving forward. And what follows this essentially is deportation and extradition proceedings that essentially are going to put him on trial. Experts have been. Is it the coffee pot?
It's the coffee pot.
Experts have been brought in, obviously, to analyze like whether it's feasible that he could have been in those places at those times based on like paper documentation that they have. He claims to have been an unremarkable just driver, like he claimed essentially to have been conscripted by the Nazis, but like he was just a driver, didn't have any particularly gruesome responsibilities.
So like, I'm guilty by association, but I didn't do anything super bad.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So they tried to keep him from being extradited. In fact, there's a guy whose name I forgot to write down, who's a well-known Holocaust denier in Cleveland and a wealthy guy who tried to keep him from being extradited. But eventually he was allowed to be extradited to Israel to stand trial. He lost his U.S. citizenship, and in 1986 he was deported. So that's like 9 years after, or I guess 11 years after they started looking into this list of 70 names. He's taken to Israel. The trial is really, like any trial of this nature would probably be highly dramatic, but this trial is, well, let me say this. It's worth watching the documentary that is on Netflix about this right now. Because seeing some of it is better than describing it. In fact, I think watching this would be probably better than I could describe it to you. But it's called The Devil Next Door.
Okay.
I think it's relatively new on Netflix. So because of the fact that this was a very public trial with, video cameras admitted and, a large amount of public interest in the case, you can see the minute he walks into court, people are yelling and shouting and pointing fingers and banging on things, and it's like this big dramatic thing, right? It's like it's a national grieving is what's happening, It's a trial, but it's like very much it's one of those things where the public has kind of made their mind up already.
Yeah.
It's also really haunting how he conducts himself. And it, for me, is the beginning of when I started to be really suspicious of him, is the way that he boldly stares down a crowd of people who are so clearly eager for his blood,
Yeah.
He doesn't flinch. And it's okay, you can say a lot of things about like how guilty people or innocent people behave, and I don't know that you can necessarily tell by people's behavior all the time.
Yeah. But
he appears very emboldened in a scenario that I feel like few people would feel that emboldened by.
Yeah.
How many people can stare down that room and smile?
It's hard to say how you would act if you were innocent of that horrible allegation versus if you were guilty of it.
Right.
Because, like, if you're guilty of that.
Sorry, I cannot focus. The dog is eating his butt. I cannot focus. Bo, go, get.
If you're guilty of that, what stunning thought processes does your brain have to do to make you okay with what you did?
Well, yeah,
either you're a sociopath and you you don't feel bad about it,
right?
Or you're not a sociopath, but your brain has made some very big justifications.
Yeah.
So in either of those situations, you're not. Your brain doesn't work the way like I would think my brain would work in that situation.
Yeah.
Like if I felt guilty about it, I'd be acting a specific way. But if you don't feel guilty or you can't feel guilty because you've justified it,
the question is really,
then how do you act?
The question is really, can an innocent person sit down there and appear unmoved?
Right.
That's really the question for me.
I don't know that they could. Like on the one hand, it's like if you're innocent, you don't want to act like you're guilty.
Yeah, right.
But on the other hand, you would still be freaked out that all these people were accusing you of something really, really bad, right?
Yeah, like,
like
you would
you
have
probably
to-
wouldn't be calm enough to sit there and smile.
This is the kind of thing that just kind of makes me scratch my head. Like, I don't know.
But people act in really
know.
bizarre ways.
And the other thing is, this is like an old dude who like
Lived a life.
lived at least after coming to America, a pretty straightforward, boring factory life.
Yeah.
And he's gotten fat and like old and like docile almost. And maybe that is just what everyone's looking at. Maybe that's all there is to see there.
Well,
But I don't
it's
think
this
so.
thing. It reminds me of the Golden State Killer.
Yeah.
Of, like when he was finally caught.
Yeah.
He was an old dude with grandkids and like completely unassuming. And when he went to trial, he made sure he was like in a wheelchair and looked as helpless as possible.
Yeah.
And not that people in wheelchairs are helpless, but he did not require that.
Well,
he
It's the same
made
thing.
it
It's the same thing
a point.
like with Harvey Weinstein, who recently, while on trial, just sort of now he needs a walker all of a sudden.
yeah.
This is a thing for optics case where people who are on the defense will attempt to make themselves look like, whatever the idea of an innocent person was, or maybe a person who couldn't possibly
trying
have
to gain
been-
sympathy.
Yes. And someone who couldn't possibly have been,
Capable of doing
right.
these acts.
I mean, you're preying on a
We're
jury.
just going to finish your sentences for the rest of the time. Is that okay?
Yeah, they're basically preying on a jury's, prejudices about that.
Yes. Yeah.
But anyway,
It's hard to imagine someone who looks and acts a certain way could have done horrible things.
Yeah.
But people are capable of a lot of awful things.
yeah, it's just crazy. Like, even when the courtroom gets quiet and then someone shouts out and calls him a murderer, he's never fazed. Like, that would, well, whatever. Let's move on. This is the first case that has been televised beginning to end in Israel.
All right.
First ever, which in a way, it kind of reminds me a lot of the OJ trial here. Mm-hmm. It was a case with a lot of public interest. Everyone was paying attention. Specifically in Israel, a case like this has like huge national interest implications. So, like, of course, everyone was swept up in it. Let me move to the prosecution's case.
Why Israel?
Why Israel is because he's being accused of Nazi war crimes. So he's essentially, Israel wants to take him to trial. So and then there's only a few cases there's only a few nations that have like direct interest in prosecuting someone for these crimes. It's basically Israel, Germany, and maybe other parts of like Eastern Europe, right? Mm-hmm. But Israel wants to take him up on it, and the United States agrees. So that's where they send him. The prosecution's case is basically this. Demjanjuk was a conscripted Russian soldier who was captured and trained to administrate in Project Reinhard, which, as you probably know, is the Nazi plan to exterminate the Jews of Poland, right? This is how the USSR was able to provide the records in the first place that identified him. Is that, he was, conscripted by what was then the Russian army, right? So they have the documentation of this. They allege that he is the especially cruel Ivan the Terrible of legend. That at Treblinka.
So I'm assuming John Demjanjuk is a name he took on later, obviously, while he's trying to escape justice for this.
The argument is no, that this is just his name. Like,
So why did he get called Ivan the Terrible?
Ivan the Terrible is I believe it's just a name of legend, or like just described as, so like the Ivan the Terrible didn't necessarily have to be some guy named Ivan.
Yeah.
Ivan the Terrible is like a name prior
A
to
legend of a horrible
Yeah,
person.
right.
And so they're like, this guy's as bad as Ivan the Terrible. And
Exactly.
then it's a nickname.
It's the kind of thing that grows out of, legend and myth. and
Being a
story
horrible
and-
person.
Yeah, well, right. So they allege that he was at Treblinka as well as many other locations around, the different camps that he had served at. They call other convicted Nazi guards to testify to having worked alongside of him. Mm-hmm. They allege that he was the man who operated the engines which pumped gas into the extermination chambers. They say that he carried a sword and would crush skulls, cut ears, and torture prisoners. Unspeakably cruel.
Yeah.
Some of the gnarliest stuff is attributed to Ivan the Terrible. Just like cruel for beyond even the scope of the awful job that they were doing.
Yeah, you're told to do a horrible thing. You were not told to chop people's ears off and crush their skulls.
It goes even beyond the evil that was already done into like pure wanton cruelty.
Yeah.
So there's a really notable exchange on the stand between a man named Rosenberg and Demjanjuk. Rosenberg is a survivor of Treblinka, and he is called to testify and to identify Demjanjuk and all that, right? When he's asked to identify him, Rosenberg asks Demjanjuk to remove his glasses, which will help his identification. And then Demjanjuk asks Rosenberg to approach, like, come here and identify me. Come closer, right?
Fuck him.
So Rosenberg does. He walks up.
You don't do that if you're innocent. You don't fucking do that.
It's odd, isn't it? It's just odd. But, you can make the argument, no, really get a look at me. Like, come closer, because if you're going to identify me, really look at my face,
Okay, maybe.
So
Don't like it, though.
The thing is, Rosenberg approaches. Demjanjuk extends his hand to shake his hand. Rosenberg freaks out.
Yes.
Freaks out. He says, in that moment, he feels he knows exactly who he's looking at. He jumps back and he says, "How dare you?" He screams, "How dare you?" And he tells the room, this man is the devil. I know him. I know him. Super dramatic moment of the trial.
He's a fucking trauma survivor.
Yeah.
Like, if you, even if you're innocent, like, you do not subject someone to that.
Yeah, it's really, again, like, the things start to add up of, like, if you're innocent, I don't know, the idea of extending your hand to someone as a defendant, it seems like a really, really bold move and
I'm
not appropriate to the moment.
I'm having a hard time seeing it as anything other than more cruelty.
It just feels like the moves of a dude who did something and knows he'll never, ever pay for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, if that's me, it's inappropriate to the moment to extend a hand of friendship. It's inappropriate to the moment.
It's like a thing maybe you could do after a person looks at you and goes, "You know what? You're not the guy."
Yeah. Right.
Then maybe you could extend your hand and be like, "No hard feelings. I fucking get that you thought I was the guy.
Yeah.
No problem." Maybe then you extend a hand. Not when he's about to identify you.
Right. It's fucked up, right?
Not when you've called him off of the stand to come look closer at you and force him into a very uncomfortable situation.
Yeah. It's got bad vibes all over it. Now, here's the thing. I'm telling a really abbreviated version of this story. I really do recommend watching the documentary.
I want to watch this.
Because the sort of politics of, like, how this plays out in the courtroom and how this plays out in the state of Israel and a lot of the stuff that follows here, I'm, like, really just touching on. The documentary does a better job of presenting all of this in a digestible format. It's like 5 episodes long. Like, it really takes its time. So anyway, I'm going to move on to the defense's case. The defense says that Demjanjuk himself was imprisoned during these years, like a chunk of time was spent being imprisoned, and then also, like, doing some, like, menial work, right? Mm-hmm. They seize on some very problematic witness testimony, which this is really something. So one witness was accused of being senile after having claimed to have traveled from Poland to Florida by train. Like, someone said they took a train from Poland to Florida, and then that person was. Bo, hey, shush, go.
The puppy next door.
I know
is
the puppies.
outside.
I can hear the puppy barking outside. So
No, you can't go play with the puppy.
So they basically accuse that person of being senile because you can't take a train from Poland to Florida, right? Mm-hmm. Another person they grilled, in sort of like cross-examination, had found that he had not actually used the name Ivan the Terrible in his identification, like so that it couldn't be positively said that he had identified this guy as Ivan the Terrible. Like, he had identified knowing him,
Yeah.
But he didn't actually say he recognized him as Ivan the Terrible. So that's part of their defense, right?
Okay. I get that. Like, he was someone I saw, but
Yes.
that's not the case at hand.
Yes.
So they're just trying to dismiss as many witnesses as possible.
Yes. And also evidence. There's something called the Treblinka card, which is a identification card that would have been given to all conscripted soldiers. Which is the identifier it's the photo ID that they use in the first place.
Yeah.
When they extradite him, to Israel.
So if he were just a driver, he wouldn't have one of those. But if he were Ivan the Terrible, he would.
Well, he would be. I'm trying to remember exactly who they awarded these Treblinka cards to, or like how they were assigned to people. God, now I'm gonna get lost in my own.
Their defense of him was that he was just a contracted driver and not a conscripted person.
Yeah, right. That's the idea.
So if it's given to any specific group of conscripted,
he would be essentially
people,
enlisted.
then, yes,
to receive a card like this, and also like some of the information on the card, backs up that assertion. The defense says that the Treblinka card is a forgery. They have some very interesting reasons for claiming that, which are actually kind of compelling. They say that it looks like the signature is forged. They say that the stamp doesn't appear to be applied correctly. There's all these, like little things like this. But also, there's staple holes in the photo, but they don't go through the card behind.
Okay.
Which would be
so it looks
a suggestion that they moved a photo from somewhere else to place it onto here.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty effective defense. I mean, it definitely casts some doubt, right? It's a reasonable argument. Also, during this trial, Demjanjuk fires his American lawyer that has been defending him in favor of a guy named Yoram Sheftel, who is very soon to become one of the most hated men in the state of Israel. So Sheftel is his defense of Demjanjuk makes him a national villain.
I was gonna say, is he Israeli?
Yeah,
that's tough.
It's really, I mean, people despise him for reasons that I kind of understand.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
Well, this is Israel versus a man, and you are taking the man's defense, and even if it's just a job, that's.
But he also seems to take a lot of
despicable.
delight in it. That's the thing about him is he's an effective lawyer. I mean, he's kind of a charismatic guy. He's God, like if we're making an analogy to the OJ trial, he's kind of the Johnny Cochran.
Yeah.
He's like the dude that's like super capable, smooth, and like is like, and people, kind of suspect him of being, in it for the cash and that kind of thing. I don't know if that's the case with Johnny Cochran. Johnny Cochran kind of took that case on principle, but I don't know, maybe not.
I don't know. Anyway.
So he's, basically seen as super unconscionable. They make him do a lie detector test on TV, like not make him, but like, bait him into it on the news to like prove that he, believes that Demjanjuk is innocent, and he fails.
Here's the thing. That is, as a defense attorney, that's not a requirement.
No, but you have to.
It's not a requirement that you believe your client is innocent. The thing is like they are entitled to a defense.
Yeah, right.
They're entitled to the best defense they can afford.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's not always a good defense. And sometimes you can afford a really good attorney. But I kind of object to them doing that. Like, that's, as much as like he kind of sounds like a piece of shit and
Yeah.
That's garbage. But like, he's entitled to a defense.
Sure.
And it doesn't matter if the lawyer thinks he's innocent or not. You should not.
It helps.
But you should not even be discussing that. Like, that's besides the point.
But again, this is like about, it's not even about this case. It's really, it's about the Holocaust. It becomes about the people
in the Holocaust. And that being said, on the other side of it, yes, like, fuck that guy and fuck anyone who helps him. Like, if he is if he was involved in the Holocaust, yes,
Right.
I understand that. But also from the other side of it, it's difficult.
Right. So anyway, there is a huge, gigantic, dramatic turnabout in this case, which is, it's very complicated for the prosecution. And it is this. The defense is able to produce a statement from a witness from 1947, which claimed that he took part in a resistance that had killed Ivan the Terrible with a spade in 1943. Someone made this allegation, right? That he had helped kill Ivan the Terrible. And did you know who that person was? Rosenberg, the dude that freaked out at the identification.
Oh.
He had earlier testified to taking part in killing Ivan the Terrible, which very much complicates his identification, right?
Mm-hmm. Which is probably part of the reason he flipped out so bad.
So, like, the question is, like, well, that's the thing is, like, which of these is true? Like, which of these is most likely to be true? Like, what incentive would Rosenberg have to claim that Ivan had been killed back in the 40s if that were not true? Why would he have made that claim if it weren't true?
Well, it's also, he could have thought it was true. He could have thought he killed Ivan the Terrible, but maybe he killed the wrong person,
It's true.
Or, whatever. Any number of things could have happened.
It's
either he could be misidentifying him now, or he could have misidentified him then.
Well, the thing is, Rosenberg himself, when presented with this, recants the testimony that he had helped kill Ivan the Terrible and describes it as wishful thinking. And this is where the documentary tries to say something that I think is very complicated and that I certainly can't say any better, but that I do want to touch on it, is that, like, if you were a survivor of the Holocaust, due to a lot of things, including like the survivor's guilt, that the companies living through something like that, there are a lot of myths you hold on to.
Yeah.
There is a lot of like, there's what happened, and then there's like the mythology of it that sustains you through something that dark.
This is like the worst thing in the world, and I feel bad that I lived and other people died. But as a justification of the fact that I survived, I killed one of the big bads.
It's like it's a thing that seems to happen sometimes. There are these like, I don't know that I'm qualified to speak to this.
Yeah.
But it is a part of surviving something that horrible, is that there are the things that definitely happened, and then there are the stories and the things that provide like that help make sense of something that's
justifications, even if it's not like. You don't have a justification. Doesn't happen just when you do something bad. Our brains do a lot of things to try to make sense of a lot of complicated information.
Yeah.
And especially when it's taking place because of a traumatic event.
Yeah.
Or series of events, our brains aren't necessarily reliable. And they jump to conclusions that aren't necessarily reliable, and put things together in a way that helps you deal with it, but might not be exactly what happened.
Yeah. I think that's sort of like what they're trying to say about this story and stories like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like what the truth is sometimes difficult to really...
Have you ever had something bizarre or like really bad happen, and then after the fact you like kind of question it?
Yeah.
I know you have.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easy to be like, okay, shit, did that really happen? Like, that was insane. Did that really happen?
Yeah.
Am I remembering it wrong?
Sometimes it's really easy to repackage the parts that you know happened differently, like to change the context around them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the process of surviving something bad.
Right. Brains aren't reliable, and a lot of times they're not reliable in ways to make things easier to deal with.
Right. So anyway, that's mostly what largely probably accounts for that story. But who knows? I mean, it's complicated. So here's where things get a little bit weirder. For years, the offices of Special Investigations had been throwing their garbage out in a dumpster across from the building, a dumpster owned by the neighboring McDonald's. This is really weird, right? That trash was being picked up for years by John Demjanjuk's son-in-law, who is part of the defense team. So he's picking up OSI garbage for years, looking for information, destroyed documents, something they could piece together, like some kind of a smoking gun, right? I can't even believe they did this. They picked up garbage out of a McDonald's dumpster for years. But anyway, they found internal memos from the OSI expressing doubts that they had the right man in the first place. They ended up being pretty explosive evidence to release in court. The leaked documents even showed one of the witnesses that was supposed to have identified Demjanjuk actually identified someone else as Ivan the Terrible. So, like, OSI, internal documents kind of blew up their own case. The evidence that was being used.
Invest in a goddamn paper shredder, people.
I think they did.
They pieced these together.
I think so.
Oh, fuck. That's dedication. Not only did you go through a nasty McDonald's dumpster, you had to put together the worst puzzle ever.
So here is where...
Okay, hold on. Invest in a shredder that goes vertical and horizontal. Those exist.
Yeah, right. Good advice.
That's my advice.
So here's where I'm going to start picking up the pace a little bit, because there's a lot to this. There's a lot to this case and what follows it that I'm about to go through that, again, maybe the documentary would be a better way to process, because it's a lot of story.
Yeah.
But I will say here, John Demjanjuk on April 18th, 1988 was found guilty and was sentenced to death by hanging.
Oh, wow.
And he spent basically the next 5 years in prison working on his appeal.
We were approximately 1 year old.
Right. He spent the next 5 years in prison, like within earshot of the gallows they were building to hang him on. Ugh. Which is crazy. They do shit different in Israel.
Yeah.
We don't do that. That's one thing we don't do here. Is
hanging in a time when they have to build the gallows because they don't have them anymore.
They had to build a gallows to hang him on. Wow. Crazy.
It took him 5 years?
Here's the thing. Well, no, because his appeal process takes another 5 years. And in July of 1993, a 5-judge panel will rule on his appeal. So that's 5 years later. Mm-hmm. His lawyers present this argument with there's many points to this argument, but the most devastating thing that they allege in this appeal is this, which is that they were able to collect the written statements of 37 former guards from Treblinka that Ivan the Terrible was in fact another guy whose name was Ivan Marchenko. Those statements were gathered by the Soviets, and they were unavailable until after the Soviet Union fell in 1991. So, like, Demjanjuk is sentenced in 88. Mm-hmm. Soviet Union falls in 91. Appeal goes to trial in 93. Mm-hmm. In between his conviction and appeal, a whole bunch of new evidence is now available that was not able to escape the Soviet Union previously. So those guys that identified Ivan Marchenko described him as looking very different. They said he had different color eyes and hair than Demjanjuk has, right? Mm-hmm. So this, among many other arguments, were ultimately enough for the judges to reverse his conviction.
Oh, jeez.
Which is a hugely upsetting. I keep leaning away from the microphone. It's a hugely upsetting event for, like, the state of Israel. Mm-hmm. Like, people are outside the courthouse, like, weeping and wailing and like pulling hair out. It's like dramatic.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. Here's the detail I'm really bothered by, and this comes up, in discussion around this. In his 1951 visa application to the U.S., Demjanjuk identified his mother's maiden name as Marchenko.
Here's my thing. If you were involved in the Holocaust on the side of the Nazis, and you're now fleeing and trying to escape some kind of conviction and retribution for your participation in that, you change your fucking name.
it's definitely curious.
You change your fucking name. You don't. How would you not? How would you not?
I have a thought on this. Well, it's odd because he claims that was just because he forgot his mother's maiden name, which seems kind of inconceivable now, but I don't, who knows? Maybe back then people just weren't that curious about. I don't know. I don't really believe that, but he said it's a common surname, so he just wrote it down. Marchenko is just a common surname. But if I have this dude's character understood the way I think I do, if he really is as bold as he seems to be throughout this whole thing, isn't there something there that's almost like, I dare you? I dare you to catch me.
Also, it's one of those things of like, sometimes you put together the big pieces of a fallacy in your head, but not the little ones. So
it's like
you change your change your name, but you don't think someone's going to ask you your mom's maiden name. And you have a second to write it down on a piece of paper. So you say, okay, fuck it. And you write maybe the real thing.
Here's a scenario. You're John Demjanjuk. You're, essentially a conscripted soldier. But to everyone around, that you present yourself with a different name and an identity. Because someday you're going to have to distance yourself from this, right? Mm-hmm. So you live as, Ivan Marchenko.
But they didn't necessarily think that way then.
I don't know. I mean,
when you're in the middle of that and you're on the side of the Nazis, you're not told you're in the wrong. You don't think you're in the wrong. And you kind of have to believe that you're doing those justifications.
Yes, but I think you have to know that someday someone might come after you for this.
I don't know if they knew that.
I doubt that very much.
I don't know. I don't know.
Especially so for him, because he's not a German by national origin. He has no real, certainty that they're not going to throw him under the bus someday.
But sometimes you have to fucking drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It seems feasible to me as a possibility that he goes by a different name for a while because he knows someday someone might come at him for it.
Or even as simple as you go by a different name because you don't want the people you're doing horrible things to actually know who you are.
Sure. And either way...
And if that were the case, maybe it would make sense that he would keep his actual name of John Demjanjuk if no one knew him by his actual name of John Demjanjuk.
That's why you protect your real identity. And so he's able to, fill out a visa application with his actual name.
But then doesn't explain the real Ivan the Terrible being Ivan Marchenko then?
Well...
If his name really is John Demjanjuk.
What? Now you've lost me.
Or you're saying that he is actually John Demjanjuk.
That's what I'm saying.
But someone else is claiming that Ivan the Terrible was actually Ivan Marchenko.
Yeah, like an actual
So
guy.
that doesn't jive with him actually being... If he's actually John... In this... Oh, this is so confusing. In the scenario we just spelled out, where he is actually John Demjanjuk, you're saying he went by Ivan Marchenko to people... Yes. Okay, now I get it.
So that other people would know him by that name and identify him by that name.
And if Marchenko was actually a common surname, then
why
it
not
would
pick
be
that
like,
as your...
yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm John Smith.
And it probably is a common surname.
Yeah, supposedly it is.
I don't doubt that.
Anyway, he is acquitted. Boo, hiss. He gets to go back home, and does. He comes back to the United States, and he gets his U.S. citizenship back. But the powers that be are not finished investigating him. Mm-hmm. The OSI continues, and again, this is with the aid of a lot of new documents that were unavailable to them before.
Yeah, this goes both ways.
Yeah, the thing is, there will be things that come out to provide his defense, and also things to suggest his guilt, right? There's more evidence either way. So they do find enough evidence that places him at Sobibor, which is another work camp, concentration camp, right? And more specifically identifies his role as a member of an SS Death's Head Battalion in Flossenburg. The Death's Head Battalion were very specifically tasked with carrying out Project Reinhard. They're I don't know. I'm not into Nazi, identification stuff enough to really know what that means. I'm not really that. There's
a specific group that was a part of the Reinhardt. project.
Yeah, they were specifically involved in that. And they place him as a member, so that's kind of a big deal. So 2002 rolls around again. 2002 rolls around.
2002.
It rolls around for the second time.
Every time it becomes 2002 again.
Oh my
So
God.
refreshing.
I need to wrap this episode. In 2002, they find cause to remove his citizenship
This
again.
is the 10th 2002 we've had.
It just won't stop. No one can explain it. So yeah, they're trying to push to remove his citizenship again. They think he's still the dude. In 2004, the Supreme Court denies his appeal. So it's been 2 years of him trying to fight the order to deport him, and the Supreme Court turns him down. He's ordered to be deported to Germany in 2005, but then still more legal kicking and screaming. So this order in 2005 gets dragged all the way out to May 2009, when he is finally deported again, this time to Germany.
Okay.
Germany also wants to take him to bat.
Okay.
And they charge him formally with accessory to murder on 29,000 counts.
Ooh.
For his time at Sobibor. I'm going to gloss over the particular arguments and evidence and all that in this trial because a lot of it is kind of familiar and there's some different, there's some new information that's presented, but for the most part, what's important is that he gets there in May of 2009. Mm-hmm. In May of 2011, he is sentenced to 5 years in prison.
How did I not hear about this?
I know.
Like it started when we were babies, but like in 2011, I was graduated from college.
How are we not hearing about that?
Yeah. I don't know.
May of 2011.
Ignorant Americans.
He was sentenced to 5 years in prison with 2 already served. This really pisses me off a bit. Because what is 5 years in prison for accessory to murder on 29,000 lives?
Cases.
And they gave him credit for time served. So he's only got another 3 years to serve. It just seems, you know what? I know it's a moral victory to convict him, and that's all it really is.
5 years with 2 served.
Yeah.
For 29,000 lives.
Yeah.
29,000 people that don't exist anymore because of this guy.
Yep. I mean, he's
5
the thing
years.
Is, it's accessory to murder, so the charge is lesser than obviously for directly murdering someone.
But he was a part of it.
But 5 years for 29,000 lives seems wrong. But here's the other thing.
29,000.
Here's the other thing. He's old as shit. By this point, he's
they're like
90.
he gonna die anyway.
Yeah, at this point he's 90 or something like that. I can't remember how old he's old.
And you're right. It's more about proving the point than him, being in jail or whatever,
exactly.
prison, whatever.
You're not ever gonna get actual restitution for this.
Right.
The people whose
no matter what you
lives
do,
were
it's
ended
not going to
been-
bring those people back.
Right.
It's a sense of justice, but nothing's ever going to be good enough.
Anyway, here we are at the end of this story. Less than 1 year later, John Demjanjuk dies in a home for the elderly. In the middle of his appeal.
Okay, so he's still appealing. He hasn't even gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, in Germany, if you die before your appeal can be heard, you're innocent.
What?
Yeah. Because you couldn't finish out your appeal, you are considered innocent. So the really sad thing about
Is
all
it
of
the
this,
opposite here? I feel like if you're charged with something and an appeal has not changed the charge, then the charge stands.
I believe so, but I don't know that. I don't know when the last time
if
was I heard
anyone's
of
a
anything
lawyer or knows about
Yeah.
the stuff, I'd be curious. But that
Someone
that
tell us
seems,
how the law works.
That seems logical to me.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically he's considered innocent of the crimes on paper to this day because of this rule. Here's the flip side of this, and something that I think I take a little bit of comfort in is that this dude spent more or less all of his time from 1986 until 2012 either on trial, awaiting trial, in prison, extradited to a different country, or otherwise, like, knowing he's being hounded.
Yeah.
This dude, like...
Hopefully living in fear.
Yeah. And the thing is, you can see the brave fates he put on here and there. But I really do like to think that time was not pleasant for him.
Yeah.
That he really didn't have much peace. I really do believe that what he was accused of, he's guilty of.
It doesn't even matter if he was Ivan the Terrible. If he was directly involved with this in any way,
right,
then he deserved punishment and to be brought to justice.
At one point, he told journalists that his arrests and his time on trial and all that was the result of an international Jewish conspiracy. What makes you sound more like a Nazi?
Right. Lock him up.
What makes you sound more like a Nazi than the Jews? The Jews put me here. You fucking asshole. Anyway.
Like, you just signed your own papers.
Yeah.
Just...
Now, the crazy thing is, like, this happened in Cleveland. The family associated with this are still here. This is, like, not a faraway problem. And so I feel a little bit conflicted about being so certain about something that I kind of don't know anything about. But the evidence adds up. The evidence really adds up. The way that the dude carried himself, the paper documentation trail, the identifications people made of him, whether you correctly identified him as Ivan the Terrible or not, I feel like it's very obvious people recognized him.
At this point, that's not even the important part to me. It's whether or not he was involved. Doesn't matter if he was specifically Ivan. Well, was he involved in those things?
In 2000, very recently, maybe it was end of last year, there were photos of the Nazis at Sobibor released. Like, photos taken by a photographer were presented to, I can't remember what museum or project, and in them is a dude that looks like John Demjanjuk. It's a dude that looks like him. You can't be positive. The identification can't be positive because it's just hard to, like, definitely tie that, those two guys together. They're separated by so much, like, age and all that, but it looks like him. And, that came out, 8 years after his death? 7 years after his death? And I think it's appropriate that it finally happened. So yeah, that's mostly it. I really recommend watching The Devil Next Door.
Yeah, I would like to watch that.
It's on Netflix, and I don't think you can fully appreciate, like, the way that this dude carried himself and the sort of aura around him, the energy that dude, like, has, without seeing it for yourself. He just, I don't know.
People are capable of so much.
Yeah.
I guess evil is the word.
Evil is the word. Evil is the only word. And you would not believe what those people are that are capable of that. They're the people. The thing is, the Nazis did not climb out of a volcano. They were people's friends and neighbors, people with bad ideas.
Well,
who got sold some real bad ideas. It's
really easy to think that, like, there are specific monsters that do evil things, and they look a certain way and act a certain way, and they don't just blend in with everybody else.
Yeah.
Because that's reassuring. That's reassuring and makes us feel safe. If someone was a monster, I would know.
It's part of the...
But it's not true.
Right.
It's not true.
Well, anyway, let's wrap this episode up because I have a tickle in my throat. It's driving me crazy. Okay. But yeah, I hope that was interesting to you. Check out The Devil Next Door. It tells a lot of the story a lot better than I can in a lot more vivid detail.
Right.
But go in with the knowledge that a Nazi bites the dust.
All right.
So yeah, this is
a Nazi bites the dust.
This is it for our only ever Sunday morning Goose Chase episode.
So far.
Did we bring some extra pep to it, or is it about the same?
I don't know. I mean, it was about Nazis, so...
Nazis. Of course, sponsored by Amazon Prime and its new series, Hunters.
Oh, God. Oh, my
Watch Hunters on Amazon Prime,
not
our
sponsored.
new
They're not giving
sponsor.
us anything.
It's about Nazi hunters.
You can't do the ad for free and then expect them to pay you later.
I don't know. It's like if you build it, they will come or whatever. You know, just like I'm creating the ad platform.
It doesn't work like that.
Okay, well, thanks for listening. Sorry for the lateness of this episode, but I hope it was worth listening
Dave's
to.
brain was trying to murder him.
And still continues. We will be back in a couple of weeks, week and a half, with our next episode of Goose Chase.
Yeah, I'll pull something out of my ass.
Yeah, that's the Goose Chase promise.
Yup.
So we'll see you in a week and a half or so with another episode of Goose Chase.
Goose Chase.
Thanks for listening.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. You've been listening to Goose Chase. We are Goose Chase Podcast on Facebook and Twitter. On Twitter, our handle is @GooseChasePod, and our website is www.goosechasepodcast.com.
If you have any topics you'd like us to research, please email us at goosechasepodcast@gmail.com. If you like what we do on the show, please rate and review us on iTunes and Google Play.
Want to go on a goose chase?
Ooh, yes.